Welcome back. This is a really fun video about how to track SpaceX, Starlink, satellites, plus much more. So let's get started. First, we're going to go to google.com and search for a web app called stellarium-web.org. And then we'll search for a location such as any city in the world, such as Cairo, Egypt, for example. So let's see if we can find some Starlink satellites in over Cairo. By the way, SpaceX is putting up like thousands and thousands of these satellites to provide a global internet service. If you don't know, and I was surprised to find them on the web, and this is tracking them in real time. So this is pretty good. Okay, so we are now inside the software. We're looking at the sun, the moon, the different planets, and constellations of stars. These are what we refer to as the fixed stars. They're not really fixed, but they're fixed in relationship to planet Earth. So we can turn on different features such as landscape, the meridians, the ecliptic, which is the path where all the planets are orbiting the sun. And then, we can view this at night or in daytime. Of course, you won't see anything in the daytime. So it's nice to have this. You can orient yourself very well using those north, south, east, west directions. So that's great. But I'm not seeing any satellites right now. It could be that they're in different part of the sky. So, it's nice to select a celestial object such as the moon or Jupiter and look at its properties up on the top left. So it's a pretty interactive. It's almost like it gives you the feeling of being in a game. So I'm gonna keep searching for satellites. I'd like to show you some of the features of what this is going on here. For example, this right here is Orion's belt. I'm sure some of you have seen 3 aligned stars in the sky at night when the sky is clear. This is Orion's belt. So Orion is a mythical figure in the Greek mythology, and the 3 stars make up his belt, that holds his pants. What's cool about these 3 stars is that they are aligned with the brightest star in the sky called Sirius. In Arabic, it's called Ash-Shara, and it's mentioned in the Quran. So pretty cool, pretty cool. And then we have also Betelgeuse, which is the sky under his armpit. All right, in Arabic, Ibtul Jawza. We're turning on here the different features such as the Milky Way galaxy and the ecliptic. So the ecliptic is this red curve that you see there, which is the path of all the planets orbiting the sun. This is the ghost of the Milky Way. One of the Milky Way branches is showing here as a white cloud. So the Milky Way has 17 billion stars. That's a billion with a B, not million. It's a pretty overwhelming scene here that you can track all of these here. So we're looking at the ecliptic, we're looking at the 12 zodiac signs, which are located along the ecliptic. So this does not include all the constellations, 108 constellations in the sky. So these are only 12: Leo, Cancer, Gemini, Taurus, Aries, and Pisces aligned with the ecliptic. And you will be able to find, you can search for the planets by their name. You can see already Mars, Uranus, Jupiter, the Moon, all here along the ecliptic. And I just spotted a couple of important stars, such as Rigel, which is the foot of Orion, and then Pleiades, which is called in Arabic Athuraya. There is also Aldebaran, which is in the Taurus constellation. Let's turn on the celestial art, and then this is Taurus, the bull, right? And the eye of the bull, as the saying goes, bullseye, right? Bullseye. What's bullseye? Bullseye is Aldebaran star. So we're now zooming in on Aldebaran and on Pleiades, which is Athuraya. Athuraya is a common name for a light fixture in Arabic, a ceiling light fixture, because it's bright. It has 7 major stars and other minor stars, but it's really bright in the sky if you are living. So I'm going to give you here a smiley face here. So I really like this stuff. Nothing like a bright star to light up your night and day. Okay, so we're going to change the location now to another location, such as Miami, Florida. We didn't get lucky with the Starlink satellites over Egypt, but I'm pretty sure, as you get closer to the equator, the sky is clearer and you probably can track more satellites. And it also depends really where the satellites are. They may not be. Here we go. I just found one. So how can you tell? You can tell if it's moving, right? Usually planets are very slow moving, so you won't be able to detect their movement as much. But it's an artificial satellite, such as the Starlink satellite. This one is called the 3156 Starlink. Was launched by SpaceX, and there is thousands of them. So chances are you will be able to find some of them in the sky. It's almost guaranteed that you'll be able to find those if you just stand still for a while and look at the sky and see if there's anything moving. Just click on it and the name will show up. Okay, so now I'm going to turn on the constellation art, the triangulation, so we can see where it is in the sky that those satellites are. So we are over the goose, right? There is a star there called Deneb, which is the tail of the goose, right? It is the Starlink satellite on the right side is passing over the Andromeda galaxy. This is another galaxy. This is not the Milky Way galaxy. It's a whole different galaxy somewhere else in the sky. It's just amazing that we can track all of these things that are so far away. So if a satellite is selected, the software will continue to focus on that point and kind of moves it in real time. That's what I like about it. It's moving pretty fast. I don't recall the exact speed, but you can check this out on the SpaceX website. So here's, a couple more Starlink satellites. We see the little bear on the left-hand side, Ursa Minor. That's a very well-known constellation. We see Aries, the sheep or the lamb, on the right side. And again, the Taurus is right there on the bottom right. And sometimes they disappear below the horizon, so you don't see them. You go below the horizon. So it's on the other side of the Earth. Change the location again. I have a feeling if we go to Hawaii, then we'll be able to see more Starlink satellites. Let's take a look. So I'm going to search for Honolulu, Hawaii, right? And that's the island in the Pacific Ocean. And it may not seem like something has changed, but wait and see. Just wait and see. Oh, here's Capricorn. Saturn, the planet Saturn is in Capricorn as we speak. We are doing this on November 4th, 2022, and Saturn is in Capricorn. There's another way to verify that something is in a specific constellation. Right here, Sagittarius arrow is pointing to the center of the Milky Way galaxy. That dark area at the tip of the arrow is the center of the Milky Way galaxy. It's called Mula in Sanskrit. And here's Antares. This is the star at the head of the Scorpio. There's another one called Shaula at the tip of the tail of Scorpio. So there's a lot of familiar figures here. You can see the crown for Caesar, the Roman emperor, is here. And other constellations that may not be familiar to you. Alpha Centauri is the closest star to Earth, beyond the sun, of course. The sun is a star, just in case you didn't know. We have Venus, we have Mercury near the sun, which is true right now. And we have Spica, which is the star of the harvest in the Virgo constellation. Usually, when you look towards the north, you'll be able to see the artificial satellites much better than if you were to look in different directions. I'm not sure why. Here's the Big Bear, Al-Qaid, and these are the Arabic names. Haven't changed for thousands of years. Here's a satellite, Dios 2. So that's not Starlink. This is another company. Here's a little bear. So these are the Saptarishis. Maybe we'll make another video on that in the future. 7 rishis or seers in India that had a very auspicious meeting with Shiva. And here is Polaris, the pole star. Isn't that great? It's right above the north. So how do you know where the north is at night? You look for the Polaris star. And it's rather obvious, especially if you are navigating the oceans and the seas. Here we go. We're looking at the north direction, and lo and behold, just like I predicted, there is a lot of artificial satellites here, and here are the Starlink satellites. So here's a tip. If you want to see them with your naked eye, it's probably a little bit more difficult, but you can look to the north. Just amazing that we can track all these celestial objects along with artificial satellites. It's just amazing stuff. I mean, that just it's mesmerizing to see all this stuff. You can almost sit there and just watch it for hours and just wonder how all these things were put together. So we need to thank SpaceX for providing global internet service. That's a pretty smart move. Here's the Capricorn constellation on the right side. With planet Saturn is aligned with Earth and the Capricorn constellation. Here's another satellite called Caldwell. So apparently, not just uh, we don't just see the Starlink satellites, but we see other satellites as well. Here's another Starlink satellite that is near the center of the Milky Way galaxy. This is where the black hole is, by the way. So it's moving pretty fast if you think about it. So if you turn off the constellation art, you'll be able to see it as it is. Now it's crossing the ecliptic. These colorful things in the sky, the night sky, are the nebulas. These ancient gases that were generated as a result of the explosions of the novas, the stars. And we have here the Aquila and the big star in the eagle constellation of Aquila, At-Ta'ir, which means the bird in Arabic. At-Ta'ir. And right next to Aquila is the wolf. So if you have been a scout before, you know that they use these symbols for the scout. He is a Danab, which is the tail of the goose. Cosmos, another satellite. It's not Starlink. I've seen a couple of other satellites in the past that were from China, Chinese satellites. You can tell by their names. They have Chinese names. So I'm not really sure who owns the other satellites besides Starlink. Could be obviously the major countries in the world will have those, such as China, Russia, and the European Union. Here's one called Spot. Here's Caldwell. Spot 5R. Starlink. Here we go again. There's a lot more Starlink than any other satellites. There's thousands and thousands of them. I kind of lost count. I don't know how many there are. I think the target is to have 12,000 of them to cover the entire Earth. So you can be in the middle of nowhere and you'll be able to see. You'll be able to get internet service. We hope that you enjoyed this video and find it informative. And if you did, please feel free to subscribe to this channel and leave a comment below about any topic that you would like us to cover in the future. Thank you and take care.